Hi guys, my name is Nonima Tikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So what we are seeing here is that the state has spent days reading records. Reading records, they spent 5 days, day 6 namhlanje, but I can't get over what happened on Friday. And now after all of that, the prosecutor tries, he tried something law does not allow. Let's be clear. In court, you do not force an accused person to accept evidence. Not a cell phone records, not bank statements, not timelines, not theories. The accused is not your witness. The accused is not your validator. There is only one person who decides whether your case stands, the judge. But Friday and even today, we are having an issue here. Yet, listen to what happens. The same question again and again and again. Friday and today, it's still the same thing. Why was the data patched? Are you saying it was patched? So why was it patched? Same answer every time. That's not clarification. That's pressure. Now, let's talk law, real law. For evidence to matter, it must be legally obtained, relevant, admissible, authenticated. If it needs reputation to survive, it's already dead. And this thing, Indian Mangaza, is that Baloyi knows all of these things. And here's the fatal problem. They are talking about records from 2018, 2019, 2020, but the incident, 2014, so tell me, how is that relevant? 2018, 2019, 2020, what about the incident, 2014? Tell me, how is all of that relevant? How is that helping us? That's not focus. That's overproduction at its best. And overproduction is what people do when they don't have precision. Now let's get deeper into this. Let's go deeper. Cell phone records, bank statements. These are not introduced by belief. They are introduced by custodians. The service provider must authenticate phone data. A bank official must authenticate bank records, not the prosecutor, never the prosecutor. Why here sinoba lawyer busy bank records ne cell phone data? Because the prosecutor is not a witness and the prosecutor is not a custodian. And no, a stamped bank statement is not enough. That stamp you get to the that stamp you get at a branch, it means nothing in a criminal court. What is required is certified copies, commissioner of oaths, confirmations, authentication by the institution itself. That's why banks have their own commissioners. And when that's done properly, you see ID numbers, verification, markers, certification language. Here, we are expected to accept all of that without the authenticator, which means the foundation is missing. So what do? They try to force acceptance. Do you accept the records? Do you accept the timeline? Do you accept now? Accept what? Why shouldn't they accept anything? You were told from the start, I don't know what you are talking about. Reading longer doesn't fix that. Here is what real evidence look like. A witness who says, I saw him. He was there. He did it. Also, a CCTV clip that matches the time. Footage that corroborates the calls. Independent confirmation. Evidence that speaks without being persuaded. Not evidence that needs to be pushed down the accused's throat, because that is what Ubaloyi is busy doing. Pushing down Danzi's throat to accept something that is not his. And now, here is the part that should worry everyone. This is no longer a simple evidential phase. We are entering a confession territory. Every word, every line, every paragraph, every condition under which it was obtained will be cut apart line by line. And when the evidence was badly introduced earlier, It doesn't survive here. It collapses. And Ubaloyi seems to be oblivious of that situation. There is only one gatekeeper in this courtroom. It is Judge Rata Mukwahleng. It is exactly that, Judge Rata Mukwahleng. Not reputation, not pressure, not volume, the law. Because wow, Sanalam. Oh, what a wow, Sanalam. What a wow. So let this be understood. When evidence is strong, you don't beg for acceptance. You place it before the court and it stands. It doesn't wobble. When it's weak, you repeat, you push, you force. And right now, the forcing is too loud. Oh, the forcing is too loud, Baloyi. The forcing is too loud. So you are forcing the issue. The entire week last week, and up until today, you are still forcing the issue. It's embarrassing, to say the least. And at this point, we are sitting there thinking that this courtroom moment exposes fatal misunderstanding of criminal law. And the people that we thought understood criminal law, they actually don't, from a judge to a prosecutor. Because tell me why, after days of reading cell phone records and bank statements, the prosecution crosses a line that no court allows. They're trying to force the accused to accept evidence. And the judge is quiet. In criminal proceedings, evidence must be legally obtained, relevant, admissible, and authentic. Judge Rata is not questioning that. Why are you forcing the witness to accept something that he says he didn't have the phone? Why is Judge Rata not calling Baloyi into order? Why? Oh, someone please make it make sense for me, because it doesn't. I absolutely do not understand. I've never seen something like this, guys. I've never seen something so horrible like this. Leli judge, guys. Because ngomunye nje owenza izinto zingahambi ngendlela. Why Ubaloyi expect into yoba uBongani Ntanzi must validate i-case yakhe? Why? And guess what? Judge Rata is sitting there like akakho. He's there sitting, keeping quiet, as if all of this is not happening. Ubaloyi puts uBongani under pressure. And I like that he does not even crack. He doesn't even crack, Mafethu. He's sitting there like, ngiyayibona yonke lento eshoyo mara mina angihlangani. Oh, I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. Is this what South Africa has become? I'm sorry. It has become this low. We are shooting at, in fact, the only person who's shooting is Baloyi, and he's shooting at blanks. He's shooting at blanks against an alarm gag. Whoa! Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Do enjoy your day. Bye-bye.